Hello, everybody. It is the 16th of August. Welcome to the class today. I'd like you to sit into a comfortable position and find a good placement for your shoulders. So your shoulders are resting on top of the rib cage, and maybe just make a couple circles, lifting them up towards the ears and circling them around behind you, but also circle them in front. Forward up towards the jaw, to the ears, and down, and change the direction of the circle. Go in the opposite direction. Yeah, good. And then from here, allow them to relax and close your eyes for a moment and imagine that they're just resting on top of your rib cage. Good. Feel now like they're widening to the sides. So we don't want to press our shoulders back nor allow them to roll forward. We want to feel them widening. And this creates a spreading sensation of the upper back, a flattening and a spreading sensation in your upper back. Now place your hands down either on your thighs or by your sides. And we'll simply turn the head. So let's turn it to the right without moving the shoulders. And you'll feel the effort in the neck and perhaps a stretch, and then change directions. Go to the left and change directions. So as we do this, I'll just explain that these movements for the head and the neck are going to help our vestibular system, which is a system found just above the ear, which I've become interested in recently, because the nerves that stimulate the vestibular system are found in the neck. So if we find ourselves during the day not moving our neck, we risk of affecting the balance system, which is the vestibular system. And if you've ever heard of vertigo, it's believed that vertigo first starts happening because we're moving our necks less and less. Bring your head back to neutral now. And we'll gently lift the chin. This is a nodding movement. Lift the chin as high as is comfortable and then bring it down to the center of the chest. And again, lift the chin and lower down to the center of the chest. So these are two very simple exercises that you could do at your desk. Of course, paying attention to the sensations in the neck, never going farther than necessary and never going into any pain. But this helps to keep the vestibular system functioning well. Just these two movements. Good. Now bring your head back to neutral and find a very nice position of the head and the neck, as if the neck is a nice, long, lengthened pole and your head is like a basketball just sitting on top of the pole. Okay. Keeping your arms relaxed, we're going to breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the nose. Now, as you do these breaths, pay attention to the position of your tongue. The tongue should fill the space in your mouth and be touching the upper palate and the backs of the teeth. This is called home position, and the tongue is almost making an arch when it's relaxed in home position. Having this home position helps us to relax the jaw. It also helps us to use the diaphragm as we breathe. So you don't need to push your tummy out, just feel that there's an expansion there. Okay, now we're going to count the breaths. Next time you breathe in, let's all breathe in together. Here we go. And breathe in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Now breathe out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, breathe in 4. Keep the tongue in home position. 2, 1. And breathe out 4, 3, 2, 1. Now breathe in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing out for 4, 3, 2, good. 1, hold your breath out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. This time, breathe in 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out 4, 4, 3. Good job. 2, 1. Hold the breath out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, breathe in 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Breathe out 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now breathe normally. Keep the eyes closed for the moment. Keep the tongue in the home position. See if you can expand the lower ribs as you breathe in, and they move in towards each other as you release and breathe out. Wonderful. Let's open our eyes. Raise your hands and bring them together in a prayer position. Clasp your fingers and push the palms skyward, raising the arms next to the ears. Good. Take another deep breath in. And as we breathe out, let's lean to the right. Good. Breathing in, lift back up. And breathing out, lean to the left. Let's keep going with that. Breathing in. And breathe out, lean to your right. Keep your tongue in home position, if possible, throughout the class. Breathing in and you lean to your left. And constantly breathing in and out of the nose. One more time each side. Go ahead at your own rhythm. This is going to keep you breathing from the diaphragm. You don't have to focus on belly. You don't have to focus on the rib cage. You just keep the mouth closed, breathe in and out of the nose. Palms together. Bring the thumbs into the upper back. Lift your chin. Gently press the head against the forearms. Hold for a moment. Excellent. Now let's stretch the arms and release, bringing them down in front of the heart center. Perfect. Now roll over your ankles or bring your feet to one side, and let's get up onto the hands and knees onto our mats. Good job, everyone. So in this position, we're going to have our hands underneath the shoulders. The knees are underneath the hips. The fingers are gently spread, but we don't have to spread them completely wide, engaging all the fingers and all those tendons. Just have them gently spread apart. The knees underneath the hips for the moment. And we'll do a cat and cow where you breathe in and you curl the spine, look skyward, and then breathe out and round, look to your belly button. And again, let's breathe in, curling, looking skyward, and breathe out, look to the belly. 3 more times. The tongue remains in home position. Mouth remains closed. And the breathing is always in and out through the nose. After the last round, open your knees and sink down onto your heels or as far as possible backwards. Reach your arms far out in front of you into child's pose and just rest here for a moment. And already you should feel a stretch down the low back, even into the hips, maybe a bit into the knees and the thighs, but just notice if there's any pain, adjust your position, please. Coming back up onto the hands and knees, let's keep our hands where they are so they're farther forward than the shoulders. Bring the hips back over the knees so their hips are back. Bring your knees into underneath the hips so it's about hip width. Allow your back to curve. Lift the chest away from the hips. Lift your chin And here we're going to bounce back and forth, bringing the hips back. Breathing naturally and deeply in and out through the nose. Then we come back, and I want you to lift your right knee, placing the right foot on the floor. This is a really nice position for the hip, and the knee points upwards. Hips are curled up and back. Reach your right hand out in front of you, fingertips on the floor, and bounce back again. Keep the back gently curled in the bowstring position. Then we'll gently bring the right hand back to where it was. Now from here, I want you to bring your right hand to a place above the ear, and you're just going to grab the head. Thumb goes above the ear and the hand wraps around the head. And we'll twist open to the right as far as possible. Keep the hips pressing back. Just twist open, look up to the sky. And you're supporting the head a little bit with the hand. Then coming back down, bring the hand back down to the floor, and we'll bring the knee back down. So that was a little bit of a mobilization exercise for the side body. Knees hip width, and we're going to bounce back and forth once again. The back stays curled, the hips press back. This is a movement from the original strength program, where it preps a lot of the joints for movement. And it's just super good. The neural pathways in your body start to light up. Now we'll lift the left knee, the left foot goes flat on the floor, left hand reaches out, and we bounce back and forth again. Just a few times, and getting that hip in its proper position. Good mobility for the hips and for the low back. Then, keeping the foot as it is, bring the hand down first just to readjust. And then the left hand comes over the left ear. Elbow points forward so you can see your elbow. And we'll twist open to the left and hold the position. Turn your head as far as possible. The elbow points up and we hold it 3, 2, 1. Turn it back down. Bring the hand back down to the floor. Bring the knee back down. Tuck your toes under, and we're all going to do crouching cat. We lift the knees, the hips curl up, feet are hip width. Crouching cat has your head lifted, has the arms straight and engaged, hips curling up as much as possible. We're going to bounce back and forth. And as you bounce back, the knees open. So open your knees, bounce back. Good. This is again, lighting up those neural pathways and getting our backs and the back body prepped. Now open your feet as wide as the mat. Begin walking your hands back towards your feet. Fingertips on the floor, hips are back. And again, we're going to bounce down and up. Just gently down and up. It's like a deep open squat. The back is curled, the head is lifted. We bounce another 3, 2, 1. Bring the hands onto the thighs, just above the knees. Hips curl back, arms are straight. Lift the chest and lift the head. Beautiful. Bring your right shoulder forward, look over your left shoulder. Come back to center, and we change. Left shoulder forward, look over your right. Back to center. You should feel the back stretching. Right shoulder forward, look over your left. Back to center. Left shoulder forward, look over your right. Back to center. One more time each side. Last one. Now from here, we're going to do something a little bit challenging for the back. So the knees stay bent, feet pointing forward, and the feet are wide. Keep your hips back and gently lift only the chest. So this means you're not really standing, you're just lifting the chest, and the back, the low back will curve a lot. You're going to feel this in the low back, so everything's okay. Keep the hips down low, chest lifting. Now raise your arms. If it's too much for the low back, keep your hands on your thighs for support. If you can raise your arms up into a V, curl the fingers if you want. Sink your hips back and down, lift the chest, lift the chin, sink down even more, feeling the back, engaging and firing up. See if you can lift your hips up a little higher behind you, and you're going to feel your glutes firing up. Hold it for another 3, 2, and 1. Come up to standing, releasing the arms, stretch the legs straight. Whew. Step your feet in and step your feet forward. Good job, everyone. So now we're at the front edge of the mat. Knees are soft, hips remain behind you, pushing back a little bit. The chest lifts, shoulders open. The chin is lifted and your eyes are at the horizon. So we're finding our perfect posture now. Find that perfect posture. You feel lengthened, engaged, and powerful. Hands come to your heart center. And now we're moving into the cardiovascular part. If you feel it goes too fast, you can slow down. If you feel you need a break, come either to child's pose or to a standing position. Okay, ladies? Here we go. Deep breath in, rise up. As we fold, we bend our knees, we bend our elbows. Elbows come to the knees and the hands come down to the floor. Step back to a plank position. Lift your head. If you want to, you can lower the knees to the floor for a lower or supported plank. If not, knees are up and you hold 3, 2, 1. Now the knees come down. If you have a hard surface, I recommend lifting your feet. Open your hands one at a time until you're in a wide push-up position. Keeping the head lifted, do 1 push-up. Adjust if you need to. If you want to skip the push-up, you could skip it. Move all the way down now. Release your legs. Bring your hands back in under the shoulders. Lift up to a cobra. Bring your chest back down. Push up onto the hands and knees. Tucking your toes, rise either to down dog or crouching cat, whichever suits you. Turn both toes to the right and bounce. 3, 2, 1. Then we change, turning the toes and knees to the left and bounce. 3, 2, that's it, good. 1, turn them forward and begin stepping forward, small steps at first. Your fingertips are still touching the floor. The knees are so nicely bent. Now bend the knees down very low. Hands to the thighs. Push against your thighs to lift the chest, getting into that squat position, little squat. Raise the arms by your ears. And then come all the way up to standing, hands at your heart center. Chest lifted, find the perfect posture. We'll go through it again slowly. Deep breath in, rise. Breathe out, elbows come to knees. You're bending your knees low. Stepping back to a plank position, hold for 3 breaths. 3, 2, 1. Knees come down. You could lift your feet, open your hands. 1 push-up. Moving all the way down. Point your toes, press the toes into the floor. Hands come in, rise to a cobra. Bring your chest back down. Push up onto the knees, crouching cat or down dog. This time, turn your knees and feet to the left. Bouncing, 3, hips go back. 2, 1. Turn your knees and feet to the right. Bouncing, 3, 2, 1. Turn the feet forward, stepping forward. Bend your knees low, hands to the thighs. Lift the chest, raise the arms by the ears, and come all the way up to standing. Perfect posture. Go again, a little bit faster. Deep breath in, rise up. Breathing out, elbows come to knees, go all the way down. Good. Step back to the plank position. Good. Hold it, lift your head. Good. Yes. 3, 2, excellent, Claire. Good, Jane. 1. Bring the knees down if you want. Lift the feet, open your hands, and let's go for the push-up. Just one push-up. Excellent, Lisa. Good, Taina. All the way down. Point your toes and release up into a cobra. Taina, if it's too much for the push-up, don't do the push-up. You can skip it. Come up to a cobra and then bring your chest back down. Push back to down dog or crouching cat. Turn your knees this time to the right. Toes and knees to the right and bounce it. 3, 2, 1. Good. Toes and knees to the left and bounce it. 3, 2. Being very mindful. 1. Back to center. Gentle steps forward to the front edge of your mat. Bend your knees low, hands to the thighs. Come up to that chair squat position. Arms by your ears. Push through your legs to rise to standing. Excellent, Catherine. Hands to your heart center. Refine the perfect posture, ladies. Last round, deep breath in, rise up, let's go. Breathing out, bend, everything bends, go forward, stepping back to plank. Hold the plank for 3 breaths, chin is lifted, 3. Good, 2. 1, knees come down, feet come up, open up your hands, do 1 push-up, down and up. Perfect, all the way down, point the toes, rise to a cobra, and then push back to down dog or crouching cat. Turn the knees to the left, knees and feet to the left, and bounce it. Yes, 2, 1. Toes and knees to the right, bounce it. 3, 2, 1. Good, toes and knees pointing forward. Start to take those little steps forward. Coming into the chair position. Good job. Arms by your ears. Push down through your legs, make them strong, powerful. Come to standing, hands to your heart center. We're going to keep going. We take away some things and we add some other things. Perfect posture. A little bit faster. Deep breath in, we rise. Breathing out, fold. We'll step back to plank without holding. No holding here. Bring the knees down. Lift your feet, open your hands. 3 push-ups. Let's go. 3, 2, skip the push-ups if it's too much. All the way down. Point the toes, rise up to a cobra. Push back to down dog or crouching cat. No bouncing here. Stepping forward. Bend your knees low, hands to the thighs. And instead of raising the arms, bring your hands to the heart center. So you're in that squat, that modified chair. Raise your right leg. We're going to take a deep breath in. We'll step the right foot back to a shortened high lunge. Grab a hold of your elbows. And in this shortened high lunge, you're going to bring your hips back towards the heel. Push it back. 3, 2, hold down and twist to your left. You're pulling against your elbows like you want to open your arms. Twist to your left. Coming back to center. Stepping forward, raise your arms by your ears now, and come all the way up to standing, hands to the heart center. We do the other side. Let's go. Deep breath in, rise. Breathing out, let's fold it down. Stepping back to a plank, no holding. Lower your knees, open your hands. 3 push-ups. You could also skip the push-ups or just do 1 if you prefer. All the way down, point your toes, rise to a cobra. Push back, down dog or crouching cat. Looking to your hands, stepping forward. Bend your knees, coming into that squat position. Help yourself up with your hands on your thighs. Hands to the heart center. Raise your left knee up. And we step it back into that high lunge, shortened high lunge position. And we'll sink back. The hips go to the back heel. 3, 2, yes, like you're gonna kneel down. 1, hold it down. Grab a hold of your elbows. Keep the chest lifted. No leaning forward. Keep it lifted. Twist to your right. Woo. Excellent work. Core, thighs, hips. Turn back forward. Good. Step it forward. And raise your arms by your ears for the squat. Coming up to standing. We'll run through that again. Deep breath in, rise. Folding, elbows to knees. Step back to the plank. Knees come down, open your hands, 3 push-ups. All the way down, hands under the shoulders, coming into a cobra. Down dog or crouching cat. Stepping forward, hands to the thighs, supporting the back. Lift the chest into that chair position. Hands to the heart center. Raise your right leg. Step it behind you for the high lunge. Grab a hold of the elbows. Sink it down. 3, 2, 1. Now twist to your left. Twist back to center. Step it forward for the squat. Raise your arms by your ears. Up to standing, hands to the heart center. Last round, let's go. Deep breath in. Breathing out, we fold. Stepping back to a plank. Lower the knees, open the hands. 3 push-ups, or you can skip. All the way down. Hands come in, cobra. Down dog or crouching cat. Stepping your feet forward. Hands to the thighs, lift the chest. Good. Hands to the heart center, lift your left leg, bring it back into the high lunge. Now grab your elbows, pull them apart, and sinking. 3, 2, 1. Twist to your right, holding here, hips are way back. Back to center. Lifting the foot up and coming back to the squat. Raise your arms by your ears, all the way up to standing, and hands come to your heart center, releasing. Whew. Good job, very nice. Hands come to your hips. Raise your right foot, step it back behind you, and turn it to your right. If you want to readjust so you're facing your device, you can do that. So the feet are wide, line them up, and bring them perfectly parallel. Hands to your hips. Lift and open the chest, keep the hips back, and lean backwards. Hands are at your hips or pressing against your low back to be able to support. Squeeze your shoulders behind you, elbows point straight back. And then look forward, and we will fold forward. Hands come down. So your legs are not too wide for the moment. Tilt your hips up and look for a lengthening down the backs of the legs without pulling on the back. Now we're going to bend the knees and squat back and then straighten them. This is a little movement, little musculation movement. Be sure your tongue is still in home position and you're still breathing in and out through the nose. The knees, when they bend, they go wide. So they're going more towards the baby toes when you bend your knees. 3 more bends. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to keep the knees bent and walk the hands over to the front foot. So this is going to be my left foot, but it should be the front of your mat. Bend that knee more and begin straightening the back leg. So this is my right leg. My left foot is forward. My right leg is back, and I'm stretching the inner thigh of the right leg. Set your hands down in front of you. Lift up the left heel and come all the way down onto the left heel as far as possible for you. Lift up your right toes and reach your arms out in front of you. Hold this position, okay? So your right toes are up off the floor, your left heel is up off the floor, and you're reaching out in front of you. Take some deep breaths here. I know it's not an easy position, but just see if you can get yourself into it and hold and relax. Now we're going to bring our hands back. Help yourself to push against the floor, lifting the hips back up. Turn yourself forward. So the left foot points forward, right foot, it's a triangle position. So the right foot is still pointing to the right, left foot is pointing forward. We're going to bend the left knee and straighten. Just some mobilization movements. It's not a holding stretch. Down and up. Now we'll keep that knee bent. Hands reach far out in front of you. We'll raise the right leg behind us and bend the knee. And we'll press the leg up, pulsing, push it up. 5. Lift your head looking at the floor. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the foot back down next to the other. Bend your knees low, hands to the thighs. Press against the thighs to lift your chest, supporting the back. Raise your arms by your ears. Power in the legs, rise to standing, and hands to the heart center. Re-find your perfect posture. All good? Stay as you are. I'm just going to switch sides on my mat so I always face my device. So, you're at the front edge of your mat. Bend your knees low. Good. Bend down low. Yeah. Take a deep breath in and bring your hands to your hips. Step your left foot behind you and turn so that both feet are facing the left-hand side of your mat now. You can readjust if you want to be watching your device. Hands are at your hips. We're lining the feet up. The toes are pointing forward. Bring your hands again at your low back and allow yourself to lean back, squeezing the shoulder blades, elbows point straight back. Open the throat, look skyward. 3, 2, and 1. Lifting back up, reach down to the floor. The feet aren't very wide. My feet are not very wide, but that helps to tilt the hips up to protect the low back. And I feel a very deep stretch down in my back, the backs of my legs, my hamstrings. So we'll squat down, the knees go wide, and then straighten out a little bit more. Let's go. Bouncing down and up. Down and up. 3 more times. The knees go wide as you bend them down. 2, 1. Keeping the knees soft and bent. I'll walk my hands over now to my right foot, okay? Because the right foot is towards the front of the mat. I'll bend my right knee and I'm going to feel the left leg stretching out and the inner thigh stretching. So I'll bend and straighten. Go again. Bend and straighten. You can be up on your fingertips if you wish. If you have a block, you prefer working with a block, you could do that too. Bending and straightening. Last one. Now, hands are going to come a little bit farther forward. I'm going to lift up my right heel and I'm going to sink down onto the right heel. The left foot points upwards and I'll reach my arms out in front of me. And I'm going to hold this position, relaxing for a moment. Deep breaths, tongue in the home position in the mouth. The breaths are in and out through the nose. Walk the hands back to be able to support as you lift back up out of this position. And you're going to turn your right foot forward for that triangle position. I'll bend the front knee and I'll straighten. If you want to use a block, you may. But you don't have to straighten completely at the knee. It stays soft. We bend and straighten. This is mobilizing, but also toning the muscles. We're working those muscles, those deeper, deeper structural muscles. 2 and 1. Keep the front knee bent. That's the right knee. Reach beyond and raise your left leg. The knee is bent. And we're going to press upward, skyward. Push it up. Push it up again. Working the back body. Push it up. Another 3, 2, 1. Bring that left foot down next to the right. Hip width, hands to the thighs. Lift up to the squat position. Low back is curved, chest is lifted. Raise your arms by your ears. And come all the way up to standing. Hands to the heart center. Refine your perfect posture. Bring your hands now to your hips, and we do my favorite position. Raise the right foot and bring it on top of the left thigh, just above the knee. Hips press backwards so you get nice curve in the low back. Hands come to the heart center, and then the thumbs to the crown of the head. Elbows point forward. Lift the chin, open the throat, open the chest. Lift your eyes. This is called infinity pose. Holding 3, 2, 1. Release. Feet come down, arms by your sides. Close your eyes a moment. Hands come back to your hips. Eyes open. Raise your left foot. Bring it on top of the right thigh, just above the knee. Bend the knees, hips go back, curving through the spine. Palms together. Thumbs to the crown of the head, elbows point forward. Then you lift the chin and the elbows point skyward. Here we go, holding. 3, 2, and 1. Release your arms, release the foot, refine your perfect posture, and the hands come to the heart center. Good job, everybody. Very good. Let's take a deep breath in, raise the arms, stretching the whole body skyward. Then we bring elbows to knees, bend your knees low, elbows come right down, hands to the floor, and step back to your plank position. Lift your head, lift your chest, press down nicely, arms are strong. Straighten out the arms as much as possible without hyperextending. If you need to lower your knees, that's fine. If you need to lower down to your elbows, that's fine too. Hold the hands towards the feet to engage more through the belly. And we hold 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees will come down. Bring the hips back, and we get into a child's pose, please. Child's pose. Lift your chin, rise back up onto the hands and knees, and bring both knees to the right-hand side of your mat. Sitting down onto the left hip, reach your left arm underneath the head, reach your right arm out in front of you, and stretch your right leg. The foot is flexed. Now here we need to adjust a little bit the positioning of the foot. Bring the toes down and the heel up, okay? So if you notice, what it does is it creates a rotation in the leg, which gets the femur bone in a good position in the hip socket. So the head of the femur bone locks itself nicely into the hip socket. The hips are back, okay? We don't want to tuck our hips forward. We keep them back. That's going to help to engage that glute medius muscle, which is on the side, which helps to protect the positioning of the hips. Right arm is out in front of you, and here we go. We're going to pulse, lifting, lifting. You'll start to feel that glute muscle activation. Toes point down, the heel is up. Check your toes. The leg is a little bit behind you because the hips are pressing back. Push the hips back and we pulse up. Keep lifting. 5, 4, lift it up. 3, 2, 1. Hold the leg up there. Hold it up there. Good job. Bring the leg back down. Straighten both legs and roll onto your tummy. Reach your right arm out in front of you. Thumb is pointing up. Lift your right arm, left leg. Keep the head lifted just to get that engagement in the neck. Unless your neck is inflamed or it hurts. You can bring your head down in that case. Otherwise, we're also working the muscles of the neck. Hold the arm and leg up. 3, 2, 1. Good job. Bring the arm and leg back down. Hands under the shoulders. Push up onto the hands and knees. And come back into the child's pose. Good job, ladies. Release in child's pose. Just hold here for a moment. Coming back up onto the hands and knees. Bring both knees to the left-hand side of your mat now. And sitting down onto your right hip. Reach your right arm out. Left arm reaches out in front of you. Stretch your left leg now up. You should have switched legs or switched sides. So the left leg is up. Point the toes down. The heel points up. So that creates the rotation and gets the femur bone locked deeply into the hip socket. This is where it's super important. We're often pushing the femur bone forward, which takes it out of its perfect place in the hip socket. We want to push the top of the femur bone back, curving the back, and by lifting the leg a little bit behind us, okay, and getting that rotation, toes down. And we pulse the leg up, push it up. So the heel lifts, the toes pointing down, and there we get that glute medius activation. Should be difficult, you should feel it right on the side glute. Okay, and it might even be mounding the other muscles up behind you. Pressing up another 5, 4, 3, 2, good job. 1, hold the leg there, hold it there. I don't know about you, but I'm trembling a little bit. It's difficult to hold it there. Hold. There we go. Bring the leg down. Excellent. Stretch both legs and roll onto your tummy. Good. So now we're reaching our left arm out. We're going to lift the left arm, right leg. Keep the head lifted, and we hold it here. Keep breathing. The head is lifted only if it's okay for your neck. We hold another 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hands back down, bring the head back down. Move your hips from side to side to let go. Lift your head, lift your feet. Flex your feet and touch the heels together. Open your knees so that the knees are a little bit wider than hip width. There we can activate the glutes even more. Bring your elbows out to the side to cactus and lift the head, chest, shoulders, arms, and the knees. You want to try and peel up the thighs. Very hard to get the thighs off the floor, but it'll activate your glutes as well as your low back. And here we're getting into the upper back as well. And we'll hold. 3, 2, 1. Bring everything down. Hands come under the shoulders. Push up onto the hands and knees. Walk your knees forward. Bringing the feet to one side. Let's come to a seated position. Whew. Grab behind your thighs and roll down onto your back. 3 bridge poses. The first one is hamstring bridge. Walk your feet away from you. Heels into the floor, toes pointing up. Knees are slightly bent. Arms on the ground. Lift your hips up. Here you're going to feel hamstrings activating. If possible, pull your heels towards the hips. Activates them even more. Take deep breaths, tongue in home position. And relax the hips down. Lift your knees up to the shoulders to release a little bit the low back as well as the backs of the legs. Good. This time, second bridge. Soles of the feet together, knees wide. Squeeze the feet against each other. This is called the frog bridge. Arms by your sides. Squeeze your glutes and lift the hips. Really, really good activation for the hips, low back, all of the deeper muscles here for the core. And we're going to do little pulses. So lift, lift, soles of the feet together, press against each other. Knees wide, pressing, pressing, pressing. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it up here. 1, as high as possible. Please don't go into any pain. You should feel the effort. And then release, bring the hips back down. Without stretching, lift your knees, open your feet hip width, elbows into the floor, and take your half bridge pose. Go as high as you would like to go. I don't go as high anymore because it presses the femur bones forward. I keep my femur bones back, but I create a big curve at my low back. And I can feel big lengthening through my belly. Go as high as feels good to you. Lengthen out your neck at the same time. We hold the position. Come out of the position, raise your arms over your head, stretch far behind you, and lower the back 1 vertebra at a time. Very, very slowly until the back is all the way on the floor. Good. From here, stretch your legs onto the floor and stretch as far as possible, fingers to toes. Point your toes. Lengthen your belly, lengthen your back at the same time. Bend your knees. Keep the same curve in your back as when you had your arms and your legs stretched straight. Put your hand underneath there so you can feel there's curve and there's a space between your low back and the floor. Keep that space as you raise your right leg, foot flexed, and you'll feel the stretch down the back of the leg, hamstring stretch. Foot flex as much as possible. If you don't feel it, straighten your leg completely, and then you should start to feel it. We do not need to pull the leg towards the chest. That gets into the back. Here we want to keep the back curved. To release, cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Let your knees go to your right. Right knee goes to the floor. Left arm reaches out to the left. And the right arm reaches across the body to touch the inner elbow of the left arm. So it creates a stretch also in the upper back, shoulder, as well as the pectoral. Nice twist for the back and for the hips and legs. Allow the right ankle to come off the left knee and lift your left knee first, right knee follows, rolling back onto your back. Again, find that curve at the low back. There's space between the low back and the floor. Raise your left leg. Grab behind your thigh. Straighten the leg as much as possible, foot flexed. You should feel the stretch maybe down the back of the leg. If you want to, you can keep your knee bent. That gets the stretch down into the hamstring as well. But if you don't feel it enough, you could straighten your leg completely. Keep the hips curled back. Take some deep breaths here. The tongue is in home position. Breathing in and out through the nose. Cross your left ankle over the right thigh. Let the knees go to your left. So it's the left thigh going to the floor. It's an open twist. Right arm reaches out to your right. Left arm reaches across and you touch the inner elbow, and we'll hold here. Allow the left ankle to just fall off the right knee. Roll back onto your back. Lift your knees up and take a happy baby pose, either grabbing behind the thighs, around the ankles, or at the bottom of the feet. Find your happy baby. A few deep breaths, just holding and releasing all of the work that we've done today. Bring the knees back together, squeeze them against the chest. Lift your head, nose between the knees. Lower the head down. Stretching one leg at a time out onto your mat. Turn your palms to the sky. Find your tongue in home position again. And have the breath going in and out through the nose. And we'll do a short relaxation exercise. As we started the class just a few minutes late, we're going a few minutes over time. So if you have commitments at 1 o'clock, it is 1 minute after 1. If you can stay for another few minutes, stay here, breathing deeply, in and out through the nose. Allow your hands and your feet to relax and to let go. Your legs and your arms, relaxing and letting go. Your shoulders and your hips, letting go. The chest, the tummy. Upper back and the lower back. Relax your neck and your jaw. All of the muscles in the face and the scalp. Now imagine that at your neck, You have two roots on each side, growing up into stems, and then into these beautiful flowers just above and behind your ears. Imagine colorful, beautiful flowers, very intricate. And these flowers give you a sense of self, a sense of your being moving through space and time. A sense of balance, knowing where you are in relation to gravity and the earth. And these flowers give you the ability to move. Breathe deeply and nourish these flowers. Begin now to move your fingers and your toes. Move your hands and your feet. And recognize that, in fact, these flowers give you this ability. Raise your arms over your heads, reaching from fingers to toes. The flowers give you this ability as well, bringing the knees to the chest. Squeeze your knees in and roll to one side, preferably the right-hand side. Lift yourself up from the side. These flowers also give you this ability. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do all of this. Bring your hands together, rub them together. So the flowers are the vestibular system that are found right behind your ears. Bring your hands over your face. Gently tap around your eyes and shake out. One more time. Hands come to your heart center. It was an absolute pleasure to practice with you all today. Thank you very much. Namaste. Great to see you and welcome back.